This Let's Play series was sponsored by THQ Nordic. Check out the links down below if you're interested in Darksiders 3. Alright, we've killed 6 of the 7 sins, and as Pride told us in the past, we're only worthy enough to fight her once we had accomplished killing all of her siblings. So, we're heading on in. And she might prove to be a very tough final battle. Who knows, maybe she'll have 3 health bars. What do you got for us, Pride? Are you ready to accept our fight? Yeah. Yeah, she is. Good.
Confidence suits you.
When earned, yes.
You are proud. See, I never understood why pride was considered a deadly sin. The power you feel now after having completed an arduous task, isn't it empowering? You've shown great promise, done exceptional work. Don't you deserve something for it?
Perhaps, but not from you.
Before you make a tragic mistake, I'd like to make you an offer. You've seen the world. You've seen the state it's in. You're smart enough to know that someone somewhere has lied to you. There is no plan. There is no balance. It's all lies. But imagine if it were true. Imagine if you and I truly set out to give the world direction, order. Isn't that your true purpose? We could be the force for balance the world deserves. We could be greatness.
Yeah, that's not really that much balance, though.
At one time, that speech might have worked on me. But that was when I did not understand how ugly pride could be. Thank you for your generous offer, but if this world is to be fixed, neither of us will be the ones to do it.
Oh, good for Fury!
When you look back on your life, does anything give you pride?
Okay, so here's a problem. She has a shield all around her. Do I have to break it? Aha! Here we go. Don't do what? Hurt you? Bring you closer to your death? But that was my entire goal. That was the entire reason why we even bothered killing all of your siblings. She's attacked me with her head. She has a giant statue head just shooting a laser across the room. Oh no. Can it hurt her back? Because that'd be pretty nice. I'm gonna try and break it actually. Ow. Okay, can't break it. Good to know.
When you look back on your life, does anything give you pride?
I should just use a Nephilim's recipe. I'm being stingy here. I might be able to kill Pride without getting hit again. Haha! Wow, sucks for you. You didn't have more than 1 health bar, like Wrath.
Did you speak to the Lord of the Hollows? He knew. He too was proud.
Tell me about the council.
Your so-called masters are infected with pride. They serve no balance. Who do you think released the seven from our prison? What purpose do we serve without humanity to corrupt? Tell me my words do not ring true. You cannot deny the pride that still resides within you, can you?
Enough empty flattery! Tell me everything.
You already know everything, mistress. The great irony here is that for once, your enemy is right. You should feel pride, but you do not. You only feel fear.
I'd say it's more like a general curiosity.
You came this close to greatness, only to fall.
See? Your counsel betrays you.
Oh, Jesus!
Watcher?
Always so pretty. I used to be so jealous of you, sister.
Envy.
Oh my god, it's envy!
No.
What a shame that I had people spoil that for me already!
Was all true!
Yes, all of it. I envy that ignorance. Bliss, is it not?
You know what else I envy?
Your power. And thanks to our mutual benefactors, that power is mine!
Oh wait, she's trying to capture us? Oh, that's not gonna work out in your favor, lady.
Pride had it right. The Charred Council set you up. They want us all dead. All seven sins and the Horsemen. No! Oh, but I knew better. Jealousy, Smell. Jealousy. I took the form of a trusted servant, and you, Horseman, became both my sword and my shield.
That is very clever of you. But I feel like after everything you've seen us do, it was a bad time to underestimate us.
With the other sins out of the way, I will destroy the Charred Council once and for all. Only then will the Earth finally be mine.
Why do you even want the Earth? There's nothing good left on it, except for a few humans.
Pride goeth before the fall. A bit on the nose, but the message is clear.
Oh no, I'm falling. I don't know how we're gonna get out of this mess, but something's gotta happen. Either we are able to come back from this, or we're not. And other stuff is gonna have to happen. Are we waking up in Haven? Did we get saved by the humans?
You
Hey!
snore. Maybe it's a broken nose.
Our flame hollow is still
looks
active.
like you've been busy. Doing what, I have no idea, other than getting your ass handed to you.
Who are you, human, to speak to me like this?
Oh, I'm just another refugee, like you. But I'm not strong enough to defend the balance. That's your purpose.
I have learned I am weak.
Well, maybe now you finally understand how all humans feel. Pulled into a war they never asked for. Left to their own devices against forces they cannot possibly understand or effectively fight. All of humanity has been betrayed, and yet, they still fight on. What about you?
I strayed from the path. I have been jealous. I have been wrathful. I have been lazy. Worse and more. All the things the seven sins stand for, and I have paid dearly for it.
So in other words, you have lived.
Yes.
Good then. You're finally alive. And with life, there is always hope.
Hope. I was humbled in my battle with envy. No doubt she's on her way to destroy the Charred Council, even as we speak. And I remain stranded on Earth, so when you speak of hope, human, I cannot concur. All hope is lost.
No. Haven is built on hope. Come, speak to Ulthane. You'll see.
You know, I'm glad the humans in Haven are good for something. we were kind of ignoring him for a while. Oh, he built a portal! Let me turn off my hollow form here. You know, we don't need to be on fire as we approach them all. So what have you been up to, Ulthane? And what about you,
Why?
Jones?
Did they help me?
It's, kind of what humans do. And the fact that you sent more than a few survivors our way didn't hurt.
All for naught.
We didn't pull you from the rubble to quit now. Envy holds the power of the Seven. Your betrayal can be seen on your face. Left for dead like some useless, discarded thing. But it is not over.
Here, take it. A gift from the Lord of Hollows. Deserves to be in stronger hands than mine.
You know not what you offer, Horseman. You cannot be serious.
It's important. Clearly, I'm not worthy. Don't you want it?
This was not meant for me. The Lord of Hollows knew whom he was choosing. His faith will not be questioned. Not by me, anyway.
What?
This milestone should be acknowledged. If you won't do it, I'll do so for you.
Do you know exactly
Reflecting pool?
what all this is about anyways?
With a few adjustments. But it's only meant for you. Will only take you to your heart's desire.
I desire only to finish what the Council began.
Find your resolve, Horseman. It's all you have now. And it is what you need if you're to stop envy and unseat your former masters.
Are you saying this big old portal here is the final portal for us?
Well met, Fury.
Because I can believe that.
Dear Fury.
This is it. I hope you know how much this means to them.
I bid you good luck, Ryder.
Come and begin your preparations.
What about you? What do you humans say? They haven't like done anything all game, so I was hoping for just a tiny smidge more, but I'm still happy that they're like
Finally sleep safe.
How can I ever repay you?
that they're still like here at the end. Okay. I guess it is time for us to try and take the fight to Envy and the Council. Or mostly just Envy right now, honestly.
judging that you've forgotten how to fight!
Ah, she got guns too.
Dare attack this holy sanctum!
I do! I dare! Because no one else ever has! And that makes this sweet!
Wait, was that Death Scythe?
You haughty sons of whores have had this coming for eons! And
No.
you have no one but yourselves to thank for it!
Your lust for power will be your undoing, Envy!
Well, isn't that the pot calling a kettle black? When I'm done here and you're nothing left but pebbles, I will simply wait out the apocalypse and destroy whatever weakened generals remain. The Earth will be mine.
Hey, came here to ruin your fun.
It's over, Envy! You have failed!
Kill her, horseman! We command!
Oh, shut up! You command nothing but my scorn, and you will know my fury soon enough!
Blasphemy!
True. Yield or die, Envy!
Seriously?
No, but it was worth a shot.
All right, the real final battle begins here.
For all of your pals, you are no better than the hairy.
Okay, there are things I want to do here. I will use as many shards as possible to defeat you. Whoa! Jesus! All right, I honestly wasn't expecting that. So she's gonna use some of her fellow Sin's power, but I figured it would just be in the form of the weaponry, not so much in the literal forms of her fellow Sins. Look, as long as she doesn't do anything with gluttony, I should be fine. Oh shit!
I do not you this death. Dishonor and disgrace.
It's not dishonorable disgraceful, I'm fighting for my life here. And fighting for our pride, technically. That's the best kind of way that we could fight. Honor! Especially after all that we've been through together. Did we just block the bullets? No, I don't think so.
No! It was mine! All of it was mine! I deserved it! I had it! Mine!
For the horsemen!
I thought we were just gonna punch her in the face. That would have been great. Okay, that was pretty cool. That's ironic. She just taunted the council for not knowing how to fight. Because they spent so much time trying to watch and rule over things. And here she fell for the same reason. I'd love if the Charred Council were just sitting there whispering like, okay, should we stop her? She straight up threatened to kill us. Wait, we have to let her finish this first. Then we'll attack her with fireballs.
It would seem you have finally accomplished your task, Fury. Perhaps you should be rewarded. But perhaps not. Envy may have caught us unawares, but we have more than enough power to deal with an insect like you. You have overstepped your bounds, horseman. You shall be punished, along with your brothers, like the impudent child you are.
No! I will not die like this! I will not allow your corruption to spread!
Stop! Where did you get that? Deliver that unto us.
No. No. I don't think it was made for you. Besides, feels pretty good.
Such arrogance! Such gall!
No, that would be pride. This is truth. And the truth is, this can destroy you!
You'll never find out, wretch!
Are we just gonna use the 7 sins like a bomb? Yeah. The poor charred council being crushed with giant rocks, while they themselves are pretty much giant talking rocks.
Unity is key! If we're to move forward from here, we must move as one!
You won't make it.
The Council.
Enraged. No doubt fueling the attack on Haven in secret. If you have a plan for them... The time is now. Heaven, hell, the Charred Council. They wish to see them annihilated. You know this, but perhaps you don't know the reason. Even before the apocalypse, why were your lives so hard? Because you were created for a great purpose and left unprotected. So those who fear you have set out to destroy you with false promises and wars and sin that they blame on you. They all fear you. That fear can be used against them. Humanity can win this war.
Look around you. This is what's left of humanity, and we are in no shape to fight a war on the scale you suggest.
No. You must hide.
From the eyes of heaven and hell. The Council? That's exactly what must be done. But what humanity needs more than a good hidey-hole is a protector.
A protector?
Well, obviously that's just gonna be us. Oh shit, there's Abaddon.
Once and for all, we shall raise this planet.
Yeah, it's probably a good time to run. I don't think we can handle all of those. Although I guess with a little bit of help, that could change.
Do what must be done! Horseman, come! The Makers will buy us the necessary time to shuttle the other humans away.
Wait a second. What was that guy doing?
North, back to chamber. What sort of a maker would I be if I built a doorway that only connected two places, huh? Your heart's desire, horseman. Safe place for the poor and wanted.
I don't understand.
Aye. Well, you will. Sadly, you will understand it all as you travel with them.
Me?
They are in need of being protected, and you need a new purpose. Am I wrong?
But what about Jones? What is he gonna do with that gun? Unless he's like secretly Strife. Yeah, I think they did have the same voice actor, actually. Fury, get them the hell out of here!
I vow to use all of the powers in my possession to protect humanity. And one day, we will set things right. Together. Uthane, my brother, War, is an innocent in this drama. If you ever find an opportunity to assist him in any way, I would ask you to do so.
I will.
Thank you, Maker. May our future be one of justice.
Aye. Safe travels, horseman.
I mean, Ulthane does help us in the future, but he wasn't that willing at the beginning. Yeah, that's definitely Strife.
Strife.
Oh, that was a cool little reveal. Good for you, Strife. So is that it? We're not going to see the exact location as to where humanity's going to end up? What if I hit back? Will that just take me to the main menu? I'm scared. I want to see an after credits. Yes, here we go. Oh, is it Lilith again?
Fool! I told you to silence the traitor. No matter. The young one remains unaware of the power she possesses. The Council will deliberate this turn, and they will send war to Earth. A mistake. The final seal will be broken, and I will revel in the chaos. You may go.
Good for you, Lilith. You didn't get punished this time around. Okay. Well, that's Darksiders 3. I would have liked to have seen where humanity ended up, and I wouldn't have minded having another instance of us seeing Fury getting summoned by War. But I guess we just had to kind of take what we got there. I like how the compass is stuck on the screen. I think if I continue, I just end up in New Game Plus, but... Alright, yeah. That's Darksiders 3. A... very different game in comparison to Darksiders 1 and 2. We went through those and they're very hack and slashy. You could feel a lot of inspiration from stuff like God of War, Devil May Cry, or even just games that weren't really so much hack and slash, other RPGs. Darksiders 2 especially had a lot of RPG mechanics, but this one just went like full on From Software type of games. Dark Souls, Bloodborne kind of esque. Just straight up. And we got a lot of games that were, you know, where we compare stuff to Dark Souls nowadays, just because it's like, oh yeah, it's really hard. It's Dark Souls like. But no, this is straight up that type of gameplay. With the whole checkpoints being just like specific locations, and if you die, you drop the souls and you have to get them back. If you die again and you have souls, those previous souls disappear entirely. And even just like the way that you level up is very, very familiar to all those other systems. And so this is very, very different in that regard. And partially, I kind of like it. I wasn't really enjoying myself all too much on the higher difficulty. on the third difficulty. I don't even remember the name of it. Balance definitely did its job of feeling a little bit more balanced. There were still some moments where you'd get hit and all your health would go away and it'd just be really, really annoying, but it was definitely a lot more manageable. So that was definitely the mode that I probably should have started on, and I would not have had as much frustration going into it as I did for the first half. So I definitely liked going for that, and probably in the future I'll probably just, if I didn't even know this game was going to be played in this way. I legitimately only had seen like 1 or 2 trailers for Darksiders 3, and I didn't see any gameplay at all. So it completely caught me off guard that this was intended to be, again, like a Souls-like type of title. I would have gone in with a completely different mindset, probably would have chosen balance from the get-go, and not been super duper cocky, rushing myself into every single fight. But yeah, no, this was all right. The story, I think, is probably the weakest part of the game. You have an okay story. I like Fury's development. I'm glad that by the end of the game, she's a little bit less just super cocky and a little bit more like, oh yeah, there are some things to consider here. I'm always a fan of when a character puts a little bit more thought into what's going on, especially since obviously it's in our favor as humanity. She wants to save humanity now and let us see their grand potential. I hope that we actually end up seeing that. I really would like to see one of the Darksiders games, either Darksiders 4 or Darksiders 5, just go, hey, okay, so we've been building it up that humanity's supposed to be like this grand player in this whole war. Like even from the very beginning of Darksiders 1, it's like, oh, humanity was supposed to build themselves up in time for the end war. And so I want to see what they can do, because if we can find like humanity who's basically like the equivalent of the Nephilim or better, that'd be cool to see, just in terms of like an in-game story, if it's handled very well. But yeah, in terms of this story, I feel like I really wish it had been a little bit longer. I always do, but in this particular case, it really hammers home just like there should have been more parts with humanity. It's hard to give a shit about humanity in this game as a concept when they don't do anything. They don't do a single thing besides hide in corners of the map for you to find like collectibles, like scared collectibles. And even Jones / Strife ends up, it invalidates part of his argument. He's like, oh, humanity's really strong and we gotta have hope because that's what living is. And you're like, wow, this human's really smart. This guy's got it going on up there. He knows what he needs to do and is willing to fight on. And then you just find out he's one of the 4 horsemen anyways. So there's no human in the game who like fights against the demons or proposes plans or like has a full-on conversation with Fury, and yet by the end of the game, Fury like super gives a shit about them. At least if you spare the Lord of Hollows and have that item. People were telling me to spare both Abraxas and the Lord of Hollows, but yeah, I already knew. And then speaking of which, people spoiled the Watcher being the Envy like really hardcore. Guys, people, you have to realize that if you try to be subtle, you're not being subtle, because anyone with an iota of sense just goes, I wonder what they mean, and then they put it together. We had people being like, wow, the way that Lust looked at the Watcher when she mentioned Envy, What the who do you think is gonna miss that when they read the comments? You know? Like, I missed it in the cutscene because I was just not trying to listen to anything that the Sins were really saying, because they're the Sins. The whole point is that they're gonna try and bring you to their line of thinking through manipulation. So I'm just like, yeah, okay, maybe she's just trying to bullshit us about the location of Envy, who we already killed. And then, oh no, it's actually a plot twist, and that was like a big hint. Well, fuck it, you guys told me, so that wasn't a surprise to me. Which is a shame, because that would have been, it really would have caught me off guard. I really didn't have any reason to doubt the Watcher naturally until a little bit but like around the time that we were dealing with like tracing after Wrath, there were a couple of cutscenes that kind of put a little bit more of a focus on like, what is the Watcher's game here? So that's really disappointing. But yeah, no, I wish we had a little bit more with the humans. It would have been good if we had helped out with Haven a little bit more, just to build up a story there, to give a shit about the humans and want to see them succeed, besides just our tentative connection as being a literal human being in real life. That's just, in terms of the game, if I were, say, a Nephilim, if Nephilim existed and I were Nephilim and I play this, I go, who cares about the humans? I haven't done anything, and that's how I feel as a player. They haven't done anything yet, and I hope that in the next game, if we get a next game, that ends up happening. And it really was a surprise to see that Darksiders 3 was coming out. I played Darksiders 1, I played Darksiders 2, and when I played them, they were alright games. I didn't really like Darksiders 2 too much. It felt like it dragged on in kind of bad ways. And Darksiders 1 was a little bit forgettable to me. But I know it's always that ending. I always remembered that ending because it's a kick-ass ending. War just saying, "Hey, I'm bringing in the horsemen," and that resonates, and that always stuck with me as a badass thing. And then THQ had like problems, and at that point I was like, I guess we're never getting another Darksiders. Oh well, but now there's a chance. So while this game is kind of getting, I've seen a lot of mixed reviews. I've seen people who enjoy this, and I've seen a lot of people who dislike it. I'm in the middle. I think it's all right. If I had to give the game a rating, I'd probably give it about a 7 out of 10. The story really, it's just the story. That's really a lot of my focus. If the game had been a little bit longer, had a few more areas, had some side missions here and there to actually like connect us with other characters, mostly just the humans, really just the humans, to really connect and resonate with the story, that would have given things a lot more weight, especially with Fury's character development. Fury's character development is really fast, all things considered. She goes from a super cocky, person who super wants battle, always wants to like charge in and wants everyone to listen to her because she thinks she's the most powerful, to by the end being like really fearful and being like, I don't know if I'm the one who should protect humanity. And then she has to get like a pep talk by Olthen. Then she's like, fine, I'll protect humanity and we'll come back and we'll invoke justice. And in between, there's just kind of like, we just fight a bunch of bosses, and that's really it. It feels like there should have been a little bit more there just to have us do more than basically get led around by demons all the time. Just people playing in the grand scheme of the game. And that's all I kind of really want. And then in terms of difficulty, again, once I wanted it balanced, things were pretty alright. The only difficulty spike I experienced was Gluttony at that point. Gluttony was a really annoying boss fight. A lot of that's kind of on me for not realizing that I should have been using Force for whenever he did like the sucking in power. But to be fair to myself, most of our usage of Force to prevent us from like doing something would have been swimming. So if that had taken place all underwater, then it would have been like, all right, I'm using Force all the time so I can stay on the ground. But I didn't have anything there for me to go, yes, Force is gonna stop me from being sucked in by him. So that's kind of, I don't know, that's definitely on me, but at the same time, yeah, I probably could have gotten a tooltip after I died like 5 times to go like, oh, use Force to not get sucked in by wind attacks. Because there's only 2 things that deal with wind, his fucking suck-in attack and the Tempest. And we didn't experience the Tempest until after we beat Gluttony. So, difficulty-wise, I think I prefer this type of gameplay more, actually, than Darksiders 1 and 2. I do like more impactful gameplay. I think the only thing I would change gameplay-wise would have been, I would have liked to have blocked. I would have liked to have blocked occasionally, or an air dodge. Just being able to block, having an air dodge, having dodge take priority in controls would have helped me out a lot too. There were a lot of times where I saw an enemy attacking me, or like starting up their attack, and I pressed the dodge button, and you don't dodge because like most of your actions take priority. So if you're in the middle of an attack, you can't dodge. And it really depends on your own subjective opinions on that. Some people would go, yeah, you should be punished for not taking it really slow and being really methodical about it. But I like spamming attacks. I like going really fast. So I like being able to go, oh shit, the enemy's attacking, dodge. So those are kind of like, I'd make small tweaks in here, but if Darksiders 4 was pretty Souls-like as well, I'd be fine with that. Although Darksiders 4 is probably going to be a game with strife. So who knows? We could end up with a series of games where every single game plays differently, slightly, while still being kind of like, still trying to be kind of like a hack and slash general genre of action, while having their own uniqueness in each game. I'd be fine with that too. That'd be pretty cool. But we'll see what ends up happening in Darksiders 4, if we get a Darksiders 4, if we get a Darksiders 4, a Darksiders 5. I hope they do. I would love to see the story get concluded. I want to see more, especially because I think this game did the most in kind of like building up the actual lore of the world than Darksiders 1 or 2 kind of did. I mean, Darksiders 1 did a good job, but Darksiders 2 was really like a super side story to the whole apocalypse thing, or the whole apocalypse thing. Yeah, you deal with the whole corruption, you get a lot with Death, and Death is a really cool character. But in the end, until he comes back, I mean, yeah, he brings back humanity too, but that's another thing. It's like, okay, we're bringing back humanity. Well, what does that mean? Are they going to be revived back on Earth? Are they going to be revived on their own planet? In Darksiders 2, it was kind of implied that they were just going to come back eventually, but now Darksiders 3 seems to be like, no, they're going to come back real fucking fast, because we're going to give them the powers. We're going to make sure that we can actually handle this whole end war thing, and then obviously with war, summoning all the horsemen, that's when everything's going to get really pumping. But I want to see that get concluded. I don't want it to be another one of those stories that ends up being like, hey, we set up a lot of things to happen, but we never concluded it because game industry, meh. But thank you guys for watching through this, especially if you've been watching through the entire series. We went through Darksiders 1, 2, and 3 because we were sponsored by THQ Nordic, and so yeah, I had a good time. Thank you THQ Nordic for sponsoring this Let's Play and giving me the codes for Darksiders 2 and 3. I don't know why I didn't have Darksiders 2 Definitive Edition. I thought I had bought it at some point, but there we go. Thank you guys for watching this Let's Play, and hopefully my frustration didn't frustrate you guys too much. But again, thank you guys for watching, and I guess I'll see you guys in the next Let's Play.